Author of The Death of Cool, Gavin Mcinnis, Fox News contributor. Tamara is back. There's a part of me that says, oh, I love Hillary. I love Hillary. Oh, yes, we can. Obama. There's like, liberals are sort of like zombies. They repeat what they hear, and they know. Why did they say they'll vote for somebody and know nothing about the candidate? That infuriates me because they can cancel out my vote.
Why do you actually believe the Washington Free Banana Peel whatever group that did this search on Hillary Clinton?
It's actually true.
No, it's not true. It's a far-right group that took the data and manipulated it to support their position.
By the way, Obama does the same thing and pays less.
Is this where you guys now get your information? Washington Free Beacon or whatever? They're the ones, anything that's reported Hillary Clinton did this, did that. There's absolutely no evidence of this, and it's just not true.
It actually is true.
No, it's not. Washington Free Banana Peel is not a legitimate
organization. The Washington Free Beacon, which is a legitimate newspaper. Yes.
Look, there's different ways to look at the data, but the big picture here is women do earn less in America because they choose to. They would rather go to their daughter's piano recital than stay all night at work working on a proposal.
What?
So they end up earning less. They're less ambitious, and I think this is sort of God's way. This is nature's way of saying women should be at home with the kids. This is nature's way of saying women should be at home with the kids. This is nature's way of saying women should be at home with the kids. They're happier there.
I hope that your viewers do not take you, sir, seriously.
There's a great book you should read. It's called Why Men Earn More, and it's all about women choosing to put family over work, and that's why they earn less.
Having a choice does not mean that you're less ambitious, and your comments are absolutely deplorable. Sean, I would like
less ambitious in the workforce.
I would like you to address it. You're a father. You have a daughter.
Heroes. If you were a real feminist, you would support housewives and see them as the heroes and women who work wasting their time.
You said that women are less ambitious.
Women are less ambitious.
You have also said that women are better suited in the home.
Yes,
You've also said that, let's see, that women are emotional and women shouldn't run for public office. Women are emotional and women shouldn't run for public office. Women are emotional and women shouldn't run for public office. All of these things that just
I never said women shouldn't run for public office.
Yes, you have. You've said that
before. If we're talking about 50% of the population, generally out of this 250 million people or 150 million people, most women are happier at home. They are pretending that they like working, and they're not making money because they don't stay all night at the office. They don't go the extra mile. They don't work all weekend. You're making a mistake. You would be much happier at home with a husband and children.
Oh,
You're making a mistake. You would be much happier at home with a husband and children.
Oh,
You're making a mistake. You would be much happier at home with a husband and children.
Oh, boy. Oh,
I mean, I'm literally shaking.
You just said you're single. You don't have a boyfriend. You're what?
That's
you're celibate?
my choice.
Yeah, look, you're miserable. You're miserable. You would be so much happier with kids around you tonight. Imagine coming home. Mommy's home.
You know what, Gavin? You're not funny. You're not what you do not do anything.
I'm trying to make you happy.
You do not do anything for the better. Sean, this isn't funny.
Feminism has made women miserable. Women were much happier when housewives were glorified.
Guess what? I had a choice to be married, and I chose not to. I have a choice to have kids.
You made a mistake.
We'll give you the last word. Go ahead.
I think that your guest here is doing a disservice to all of the viewers and doing a disservice to America by saying that that I need to be married, that I would be happier at home. That you're what, miserably married? Just because
no,
just having a ring on.
I'm trying to share my joy. You should see my little 2-year-old.
Not everybody has the same life pattern as you.
I know,
okay?
it's the fault.
And not everybody wants to marry somebody in a bootleg seersucker suit and go home to that. I don't want to go home to that.
You don't have to go home to me. Go home to a hunk. You don't have to go home to me. Go home to a hunk.
Oh, gosh.
Jesus. This is absolutely disgusting. And, Sean, you should actually speak up for the viewers today and let them know that your daughter should have a choice.
I think women do have a choice. Absolutely, of course.
No one's saying women shouldn't have a choice.
Right, when we come back, we need your help. Our question of the day is straight ahead, and I'm sure this will continue. Now, last week we shed light on what really happens when your kids jet off to spring break, and tonight we have disturbing stories to share. Now, over the weekend, college students gathered for their annual spring break party called Deltopia. Now, this is in Isla Vista near Santa Barbara, California. Things got quickly out of control. Authorities say the partiers threw rocks and bricks and bottles at police, destroying cop cars and lighting fires. 100 people were arrested, 44 others taken to the hospital. Joining us now with reaction, our author and columnist Gavin Mcinnis, Deirdre Imus, the co-host of Fox and Friends First. Ainsley, who went down upon Panama City Beach, Florida, is here with us for this report. All right, so I lived in Santa Barbara. Isla Vista, it's a 60 retro. You see Santa Barbara. And they celebrate the burning of the bank that took place in the 60s.
Right.
It's a big holiday down there. This doesn't surprise me, but this is another level of what happens during spring break.
Well, this is what the sheriff down in Panama City said. This is the reason they don't go out on the beach and patrol the beaches as much, because they're scared that this will happen. He says all it takes is just a few seconds for all of these kids to have this riot and gang up against these officers. You have kids that slap and punch the officers and run away, and they don't know where these kids went. Or it could even be worse. They could pull out a weapon.
Now, one cop in particular was hurt.
Yeah, there were 5 deputies that were injured. One was hit in the face with a brick. The most severe was a university police officer. He was hit in the head with a backpack that was full of large bottles of liquor and alcohol, and face gashed. You know, it's very dangerous. Flying rocks, bottles, bricks, street signs, you see that in the video, being knocked down, small fires, and officers go in to try to break it up, and then there's a riot. 15,000 kids, Sean.
Yeah, and just descending on Santa Barbara, Isla Vista, in that area.
Yeah.
Well, it's right around the UC Santa Barbara campus.
Exactly, it's most of those kids.
You see this. You know, one of the things that kept coming up last week when we were doing this story was, why do parents allow their kids to go? They don't only let them go, they facilitate it. They pay the money to go to Cancun, Florida, in this case, California. Why would parents do that?
Well, they're raising brats and spoiled brats, that is, because, again, and you've been doing great coverage on this. I watched all of it last week, and when you guys covered this, it's amazing. You're right. Would you pay for, I'm not going to pay for my kid to go down to spring break to just drink and do drugs. I don't even drink.
You won't even let your kid eat a cheeseburger, so I mean...
No, and I also don't drink, and so a lot of that comes from parents. If your parents are sitting home drinking, and a lot of these mothers do party with their kids now. You see this in high school even. Yeah. And so a lot of these parents, if you look at the parents,
they drink with their kids?
From.
They smoke pot with their kids?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a huge problem now because they want to be the kid's friend rather than be the parent.
I agree with you.
Well, let's not pretend we can control kids. These are adults, and if they want to sneak off to what is essentially a drunken orgy, then you can pretend you can control them, you can withhold the money, but you work at a gas station 10 shifts, you got enough to go down. I got in a lot of trouble the other day for simply saying a hypothetical scenario. Your son and your daughter, on their own accord, snuck down to what is essentially a drunken orgy. Who are you more worried about? And you're obviously more worried about your daughter. But this has become a sexist thing to say.
Well, hang on. I actually have those comments because you created a bit of a firestorm. All weekend long, people have been commenting about it. Let's go back to the video. This was our Audience Edition show on Friday, and this is what Gavin said.
My daughter, there's no way in hell she's going there. But with my sons, I hope they have a great time. And I hope they enjoy
Boys
with
can
women.
get alcohol poisoning.
Oh yeah,
Boys
one
can
a
wind
year.
up in a hospital
That happens
bed.
everywhere. That's youth. Getting pregnant is much more harmful than having some uncomfortable sex and getting mugged. The women there are human garbage whose parents don't love them.
Nice jacket, Gavin. Where'd you get that?
Gavin, that's going to backfire on you because those same guys that are going down to spring break and learning how to do that, they're the ones that are going to date your daughters.
Yes.
You don't want them to have this type of a reputation.
This is the problem with all this big picture talk. Like, we're all Stalin and we can control the universe. Spring break is going on, okay? Promiscuous sex is going on. The idea of consensual sex down there is awash. It's a gray area. Now, if a boy...
What do you mean by that?
When a woman has had 10 beers shotgunned down her throat, then she...
So you think it's okay that then it's not rape or sexual assault?
And you think it's okay to send your sons down there?
That's what's happening. The males are sexually assaulting
yes.
females.
Wait a minute. If a woman chooses to drink all of that, assuming she's making the choice to funnel that beer,
right,
and she goes back to this guy's hotel room, and they hook up.
This is what everyone says. Everyone goes, what about the sons? Your sons are out there raping chicks. First of all, if it's easier for people to think about, focus on the 100-milers that you talked about who come in from out of town. You sent your daughter into an area where people, the dregs of society, are coming in from 100 miles away and preying on these wasted girls. Now, yes, sons are having sex with women that is in a gray area of consensual. That's not great. I'm not bananas about that. But the son doing that is a very unfortunate, gross, sad, pathetic thing. a daughter doing that, oh my God, it's the end of the universe. She can get pregnant.
So you say there's a double
Yeah,
standard.
or the male
There is a double standard. It's called different genitalia.
Yeah.
It's a double standard. It's called different genitalia.
Yeah.
It's a double standard. It's called different genitalia.
Yeah,
Sorry.
where's the male? Where's the male? The male has to impregnate her,
Of
Gavin. You're,
course,
like,
but one
missing
is
all
worse
that.
than the other. You're the one missing stuff.
But those are the kind of guys, when I was single, I avoided when I was dating.
Yes,
because I
try
didn't want
avoiding
them
them
to have...
after 14 beers.
Well, I wouldn't put myself in that situation.
what?
Because
That's
I
what I'm screaming.
Because I had a father and a mother that taught
We all
me
have
not to do
fathers
that.
and mothers. You know the kind of crazy, stupid stuff we all did as
yeah,
teenagers?
but
I know,
Ainsley,
but Gavin,
Gavin,
it's different now. It's so different
Yes,
now.
that's also my point. These kids grow up with porn. Third base, if
Yeah.
any of us saw what third base is today, we would have to wash our eyeballs for a fortnight.
part of it, yes, you say you didn't do that and wouldn't do that, but...
All right, let me move on really quick.
I went to spring break, but I didn't see what I saw in Panama City and the stories I heard from the police officers happening on the beaches of America.
Exactly.